In case you are brand new, generally we start with a bit of a body awareness check-in, a little bit of breath awareness, breathing exercises, and movement. Then we slow down towards the end. You can sit or stand anytime for any reason, and please modify or take breaks as needed. Today, if you like, perhaps bring your fingertips to touch. You're welcome to take any other movement or shapes with your hands if you like. Sitting in your chair, feel free to adjust your seat. Maybe check into where your feet are, noticing if you prefer your feet to be together or perhaps around hip distance apart. There will be many options during this practice. Please take what suits your body. It is quite warm, so feel free to rest and hydrate anytime. When you feel ready, perhaps notice if you'd like your eyes to be opened or closed. You can change that at any time as well. If it's available, checking into your physical body, can you feel your feet connecting towards your floor? Checking in towards your hips. Can you feel your hips supported by your seat? Checking into your back. Notice if your back is supported by your chair or perhaps away from your chair. Checking up towards your shoulders. Feel free to give them a wriggle if you need. Noticing perhaps how they're going today. Welcome, welcome. Checking in towards your neck. Feel free to move here if you need. Then noticing perhaps how your neck is going today. Finally, bringing your attention up along the back of your head, all the way up and over towards the front of your face, noticing perhaps what's happening here in this area of your body, perhaps noticing if there's space available, maybe checking in through your eyebrows, your cheeks, your jaw. It can be a busy time of the year. There are different stressors in life during this time of the year. So allowing yourself to approach this practice however you need, whether that's with more rest today or perhaps something more active. From here, could you check in towards your battery levels today? 1, low battery, 10, fully charged, energized. Where are you sitting? From here, next, check into your breathing. Notice that you are breathing. Are you breathing through your nose or your mouth? There's no right or wrong way to breathe. Could you notice what part of your torso you breathe more into? If your back is against your chair, you might notice that you breathe in towards your back, feeling that connection towards your chair for support and away as you breathe in and out. Or maybe you notice the sides of your body or the front of your body as you breathe. Notice how fast or slow you're breathing right now, and maybe how drawing attention towards your breath might change it already. You might begin to explore lengthening your breath out. So if you're fairly new to practicing working with your breath, breathe however you need, rest anytime. If it's available, you might begin to breathe in through your nose and take a slow exhale out through your mouth. As long as you like, there's no rush to today's practice. And if you've been practicing for some time, maybe coming towards your 3-part breathing as you Breathe in, fill up through your stomach. Expand your ribs out to the sides of the room and fill all the way to your chest and collarbones. As you exhale, take a slow exhale from top down. If you prefer to breathe in and out through your nose, feel free to. If you're stuffy or anything else going on, breathe however you need. If your mind wanders, that's completely normal. Could you come back to noticing your breath? And if that's not feeling suitable today, maybe draw your attention back towards your feet, noticing the shape that you are in. Maybe noticing your hands connecting if you're taking this option. If it's available for you, as you inhale, is there some space you could find throughout your body? As you exhale, is there anywhere in your body that you might be holding on to tension that you might not need to be holding on to? Could you find some more space there? If you'd like to continue working with your breath as is, feel free to stay. Otherwise, we're going to come into box breathing. If you know it, feel free to go at your own pace. You're welcome to follow along with my counts a few times, then come to your own increasing or decreasing counts as needed. For box breathing, going to inhale for 4 counts. Hold your breath lightly at the top for 4. Exhale for 4 counts. Hold your breath at the bottom for 4. If you can practice breathing in and out through your nose, give that a try. If drawing a box helps, go for it. If you want to try it out, maybe take a big breath in, fill everything up, and sigh it all out. Maybe one more if you want to. Fill all the way up, sigh it all the way out. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Inhale, fill all the way up and hold. Breathe all the way out and hold. Breathe in through your nose to fill. Hold lightly. Breathe out through your nose if that's available. Hold lightly. Fill all the way up. Hold. Breathe all the way out. Hold. A few more at your own pace if you like box breathing. You can go with counts of 4 or change the counts. If you've just joined in, feel free to move or take any options, maybe a few sighs out if that's suitable for you. Maybe 1 or 2 more rounds at your own pace. No rush. You can always stay longer if you want. Only when you feel ready, maybe a big sigh or 2 out. Then coming back to maybe your 3-part breath or your natural breath, whatever feels suitable. If your fingers are able to connect together, perhaps left and right hands, your left, right hands connecting. Maybe here taking a moment to pause and reflect. Can you once again notice your feet connecting towards the floor, your chair supporting you? How's your breath traveling? If you'd like to move, perhaps when you next inhale, opening your hands somewhere. As you exhale, perhaps reconnecting your hands. There's no particular way this has to look. Maybe opening and closing your hands. Your arms could join in if you like, as big or small as you like. Opening and closing with your breath. Any injuries or anything going on, feel free to modify. You're also welcome to explore different directions. So aside from going maybe out to the sides, noticing how that feels for your shoulders, perhaps exploring moving your arms possibly up. You're welcome to find other options that suit your body. And you do not have to move your hands at all if you don't want to. If it's suitable for you, finding your cat-cow shapes with your back as you move your arms. So this might be broadening through your chest, maybe bringing your shoulder blades together as you inhale, maybe rounding your back, possibly tucking your chin towards your chest, maybe drawing your tailbone towards you as you exhale. Feel free to modify your cat-cow shapes as you take your cat shape, as you round, maybe noticing any sensations in the back of your torso. Maybe at times there are no sensation, and that's also a form of noticing. As you next broaden your chest into your cow shape, possibly noticing any sensations through the front of your chest, maybe the front of your shoulders. And feel free to stagger yourself if you're very close to your neighbors, or maybe say hello with spirit fingers anytime. And aside from finding your cat-cow shapes, maybe you explore other movements, maybe a side bend, maybe one of your hands on your hips or on your chair, tipping up and over. Possibly using your inhalation to swap sides and an exhalation to find your side bend. You could stay or you could go side to side. Feel free to pause and rest anytime. Even in your side bends, you could begin to change and explore the direction of your side bend. Maybe exploring lowering your chest down towards the front corner, or possibly, aside from lowering your chest down towards the front corner, you're also welcome to explore twisting, possibly reaching your top hand, if it's suitable, up and back somewhere. Will all look a little bit different. Maybe noticing what suits you right now. One side of your body might want to practice in a different way from the other side of you. Aside from going side to side, possibly circular movements might be available. What does a circular movement look like for you? Is it spiraling through your torso, drawing circles? Is it drawing circles maybe with your arms and your upper body? There's no particular way this needs to look. The focus here is maybe noticing how you'd like to move and any sensations that you might feel in the area of your body that you're moving. Aside from circles, you might begin to push and pull through your shoulders. That could be shoulder circles. That could be pulling in and out with your palms, pushing. Find what suits you. We explored quite a lot of options with your shoulders last week. You're welcome to revisit those options, or maybe this pushing and pulling movement. As you push, if you're choosing to push, maybe noticing any sensations in your upper back. And if you're bringing your palms towards you, maybe noticing if the back, your upper back or your shoulder blades feel any sensations as you bring your hands in, or possibly the front of the chest. If you're pushing and bringing your hands back, possibly planting your feet down and leaning forwards to push. Maybe leaning back as you bring your hands in. If you're against the back of your chair and need more space, maybe scooching forwards if needed. Could you move with your breath if that's available for you? Notice how high or low you want to push and reach, exploring different options along the way. In around 3 of these, if you're choosing to move this way, perhaps come back towards your center before exploring some twisting options. There's no rush to come back. You can always keep going if you like. Otherwise, when you feel ready, feel free to wriggle it out or stay still. Feel free to take a few sighs out if that suits your body, and feel free to grab a sip of water anytime as well. All right. You might check in towards your shape. Maybe once again, starting with connecting your left and right sides of your body. Finding your breath, maybe noticing where you're breathing from now and how your breath is traveling. From here, could you place your palms together? If that's available, reach up. Open your hands down towards your sides. Trying maybe this 2 more times. Palms might connect, reaching. Maybe exhaling to open your hands. Connecting your palms towards your center. Your palms could be against your body or away. Noticing any space you might have through your upper body. Twisting towards one side in your upper body. Could you hold here and pause for a moment? Maybe breathing here for 2 more of your breaths. As you inhale, maybe there's some space. As you exhale, maybe notice your feet and your sit bones supported by your chair. Coming back towards your center. 3 times, reaching up, opening. Doesn't matter if you do other movements. Your eyes can be opened or closed. After this one, pausing in your center, connecting your hands. Inhale, maybe finding some space. Exhale, possibly twisting to your opposite side. Maybe pausing here. When you feel ready, coming back towards the center. Nothing's changed 3 times before the twist to the other side. Feel free to look towards your hands if that suits your body. Then coming back to center, this time maybe twisting through your upper body and maybe looking towards your back shoulder. Maybe pressing your palms together and noticing any changes in sensation. Noticing your feet planting down towards the floor. Coming back towards your center, 3 of your breaths, maybe your eye gaze follows your hands. There might be some cat-cow movements going here as well as you move your hands. Connecting your hands back towards your center, finding space before you twist to your opposite side. Maybe your eyes look towards your shoulder or possibly behind you. Maybe explore pressing your hands together. Maybe noticing any changes in sensation as you press your hands together. Possibly notice your feet grounding down to the floor. Coming back towards your center. This time we're going to change it a little bit. Inhale, reach your arms. Could you lift one of your legs, maybe your right knee? And then as you open your hands, lower your leg down. And twist towards your right knee. Maybe your left hand might come to the outside of your leg. Maybe reach back with your opposite hand. Option to stay here, grounding down in towards your feet, or inhale, lift your top arm, your back arm up and over towards that front corner. Come back, reaching behind you 2 more times. How's your lower back or your side body feeling here? When you feel ready, coming back towards your center. When you're ready, reach up, lift your left leg, or if you did the opposite, all good. As you open your hands, lower your leg down, twist towards your leg. So if you lifted your left knee, take your right hand towards the outside of your thigh, if that's available. Reach back, maybe. Option to stay here. Or inhale, lift up and over. And back 2 more times. How's your twist feeling? Any differences potentially from the first twist you did? How much space do you have? When you feel ready, coming back towards your center, no rush to get there. Maybe placing your palms together. This time, lift and kick your leg out. You can have your toes on the floor or somewhere lifted. When you're ready, reach up and kick. We're just going to go with the kick this time. Soft sides. Reach and kick. You can lean against your chair if you want to. If your leg is lifting off the floor, you might point your toes or you might flex your foot. It's up to you. Where do you notice most sensation here in your body? Maybe through your core, or maybe in your leg. What's happening in your shoulders as well? You could continue lifting and lowering, or maybe hold one side. See how that feels. You could hold in your bent knee, your hands could go wherever you need, or maybe extend. If you like, you could have your toes on the floor, extend and bend a few times, or you could have your leg up, extend and bend a few times. Could you feel any sensations changing in your thigh muscles, maybe, or maybe your center? And if you've explored one side, you might explore your opposite side. Your toes can be on the floor, your arms anywhere. Notice if you've started holding your breath. Because you keep breathing as you move, however you need. And wherever you are, maybe one more if you're taking this option before you come down towards your center. And feel free to move in any ways. Grab some water if you need. And from here, starting to explore a bit more movement towards your lower half of your body. So we're going to lift one side, draw a circle with your knee and your hip. See how you go. You could be leaning against your chair on that diagonal and try and find lots of support along through that diagonal and hold on. Or you could come up and notice how that feels for your body. Holding, or your hands can go anywhere you like. Lifting, exploring your knee circles. Some people like to hold onto their leg. See how that feels. Maybe start with smaller circles if you've never done this before. Then explore different size circles. You might reverse your circles. Notice if you can move with your breathing. And when you feel ready, trying your opposite side. How's your hip feeling today? What's going on in your hips? In a moment, you could try the same thing again, seated or standing. And then you could have your knee bent or straight. So see how you go, see what suits your body. When you feel ready, maybe take a pause and just shake anything out that you need to. So you could stay seated, do the same option, or try extending your leg. You could have your knee as bent as you need, or come to stand. You can use your chair for balancing support if you'd like. Feel free to turn your chair as well. If you'd like to come to standing, no, at any time, you could sit back down again. Hands anywhere on your chair that suits you. Finding your stance first, your steady base. When you're ready, your knee could be bent or straight, your choice. You could be seated or standing. So exploring options that suit your body and maybe exploring your balance and the direction as well. And when you've explored one side, you might swap over to your opposite side. There's no rush to this. Notice if you can move with your breath. Maybe exploring different directions or your leg options. How's your balance? If you're standing or sitting, your balance is still working, active. And when you're ready, coming back towards your center, feel free to move in any ways or stay still. From here, going to find a lunge option. So you could be sitting or standing. If you know your lunge options, go for it. Otherwise, sitting, you could come towards one side of your chair, or feel free to kind of turn on your chair as well. Whatever works for your body. Some people with really long legs kind of go, split, but that doesn't work for me. So you could be sitting or you could be standing. Wherever you are, making sure that your feet are somewhere you're feeling steady. So if you feel very cramped, could you find some more length? And if you feel like you're on a tightrope, could you widen your stance? From here, if you're seated, you won't have much space to bend and extend your knees. But if you're standing, you might explore that option. And then wherever you are, could you perhaps bring your fingers to touch, just like we did at the start. From here, could you inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, open your arms down, reconnect. Inhale to lift. Finding your own way of moving in your arms if you like. If you're in your lunge shape, you might explore extending your back leg long into your warrior one shape. You could try that seated or standing. And if you're standing, you may find you have space in your warrior one to explore bending and extending your front knee. Now in your warrior one, your back heel might be on the floor. Just check into your knee and your hips. How are they feeling? Feel free to modify if needed. Otherwise, wherever you are, exploring for maybe 2 to 3 more of your breaths. When you feel ready, could you find your way towards pyramid shape, your pyramid? If you know it, go for it. Because I'm standing, I'll demo this option first. If you're standing, you might step your back leg in halfway. And you might have your hands on your chair or your hands on your front leg, and you could fold forward, walk your hands wherever suits your body. The focus is sensation in the back of your front leg, possibly. If you're seated in your lunge shape, if you're facing kind of the side, you might come back to be straight on with your chair. Your leg that is in front, you could extend your leg out, flex your toes, and then you might ground down into your opposite leg and fold for your pyramid. Wherever you are, is there space to lengthen as you inhale? Is there space to fold as you exhale? And rather than the focus being your head to your knee, the focus is, could you feel some sensation maybe along the back of your leg? And to do that, if it's helpful, you could feel whether your hips and your shoulders are in line with your legs. Maybe one more of your breath here. When you feel ready, coming back up, walking your hands back up to your center. Oh, feel free to shake it out. Grab some water if you need. And finding your lunge and your warrior one options on your opposite side. So you could be seated. You could be standing. You might explore, once again, connecting your fingers. And moving with your breath, whatever that might look like for you. Now this side, feel free to explore seated or standing options. And check into your stance. Is your base really supportive for your body? Do you need more space for your legs to be wider? Maybe more length if that's available. What would you like to do with your hands here? Warrior one is available if you'd like to try it out. Your back heel might come down towards the floor, checking into how that feels for your body. Here for a couple more breaths, then finding your way towards your pyramid when you're ready. No rush to get there. When you feel ready, maybe finding your way to your pyramid. If you're standing, you could step your back leg about halfway in and then finding some space to fold towards your front leg. If you are in your chair, you might extend your front leg, ground down into your back leg. Exhale, possibly to fold. How does this side feel? Any difference? Feeling free to modify in any other ways you need. Maybe one more breath before coming out of this. Take your time. And no rush. Come back to your center. Feel free to move in any ways you need. Find a balance in a moment. You could do this sitting or standing, your choice. If you're sitting, could you find your way to your double heel lift? So you might lift and lower your heels a few times, and then you might hold. Your choice. You could try this standing if you wanted. Your hands could be supporting you on your chair. If you'd like to try it standing, you could give it a go. You can always come back to your chair anytime. You might do a few heel lifts and lowers and then choose to stay if that's available for your body. What can be helpful here if you are newer to this shape is to use all your toes and Notice here if you could find space in your body as you breathe in, and then use your exhale maybe to find your hip lift. Coming down anytime you like. Ooh, how's your balance today? If you can, we can try a second balance. Otherwise, feel free to take a break. This one, could you take your feet into a frog shape? Your heels in and your toes out. You could be standing or seated. So if you're seated, this time your heels might be together or slightly apart, but your toes and your knees go in that same direction. And see if you can come off the back of your chair and almost feel like you're going to stand up, almost. If you're standing, maybe holding on to something, and then you could have your heels together. As you come up, they might separate. You could have your feet wider if that feels more supportive for your body. Give it a go. Try a few options. How's your balance on this side? See if you can hold your option wherever you are. And when you feel ready, maybe a big sigh out to release down. Awesome. And because it's Christmas, you might try your tree. If you know your options, go for it, standing or seated. I'll demo a seated option. You could take one of your knees and your toes out to the side. Your foot could stay along your calf, the floor, your calf, or your thigh. You could cross as well if that's available for you, and your hands could go wherever you like. And whether you celebrate Christmas or not, lots of trees are decorated, so feel free to find your own expression of your tree. Maybe you've got a leaning tree. And could you find one more breath here before releasing? Feel free to try your opposite side, seated or standing. One note on safety is to try to avoid putting your foot directly against your inner knee. So above or below tends to be safer options in the long run. So finding what suits you and noticing, is there space as you inhale? And as you exhale, could you find some steadiness, maybe pushing your foot in towards your leg and your leg in towards your foot as well? You might find your own expression of your tree on this side, maybe exploring. Gets pretty windy here in Melbourne. How's your tree going? I got a teeny tiny tree at home because I have a cat and a giant dog. All right, maybe one last big breath in before releasing. Feel free to shake it all out or stay still. I'm going to start to slow down now. No rush. If you prefer to stay standing, feel free to. Otherwise, moving in any ways you need. Eventually finding your way towards a shape that suits you. So that could be your mountain shape with your legs down. It could be legs crossed. It could be kneeling on the floor. It could be standing. What suits your body? Maybe bring your left and right sides together, connecting your fingers. Your eyes are possibly opened or closed. Perhaps here, checking into the shape that you've chosen, making any adjustments. Notice if you need your chair back for support. Could you notice how you're breathing, where you're breathing from? Yoga practices Don't need to be fancy. It could be you noticing your body, you noticing your breath for a minute or two. Could you follow your breath in and out a few times if that's available? As you inhale, is there room to find some space throughout your body? As you exhale, possibly noticing your chair and the floor supporting you. Maybe following your breath in and out around 6 times. Maybe counting 6 in, 6 out, if you know your mind's been a little bit busy today. Optional to join in only if you want to move and you feel ready. Connecting your palms in front of your chest. Inhaling to reach. Exhaling to open. Maybe a few more at your own pace. Knowing that maybe a practice like this, moving your arms with your breath, could be available during any busy times or you need some time away from the crowds over the next few weeks. Possibly 2 to 3 huge sighs out if you like. Maybe allowing your hands to drop down. Whatever that looks like for you. Maybe inhale to reach. Maybe one last one. And from here, no need to open your eyes unless you feel ready. But if you want to, give yourself a big squeeze towards your shoulders and maybe bow your forehead down to yourself, giving yourself a big thank you for showing up, whether it's for the first time or the 10th, 20th, 30th time. Thank you so much for being here. And rest well. Stay safe as you travel, if you are traveling or even just going around over the next few weeks. Thank you so much. You might release your hands, maybe bring your palms towards yourself or each other. I hope I get to see you next year. Happy holidays, everybody. There's no rush to move. Please take your time, and some people might need quiet. Other people might want to meet their neighbors and chat.